Hello and welcome to the second and the final episode of Drishti's map series for prelims 2021. Today we'll be discussing important places in news from different parts of the world and the news also. Africa, which were the places from Africa which were in news? So UNICEF had released a report and said that hunger crisis is increasing in certain parts of Africa like South Sudan, Nigeria, Somalia, Ethiopia and other countries. Tigray region was very much in news. Why? Tigray region of Ethiopia, because it was torn apart due to a civil war. A war was going on between Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF) and the army, and the government had to issue appeal to the people to join the army. So these were the places in news from Africa to begin with. Now let's assume a question that can be asked: which country or which countries are referred to as part of Horn of Africa, but it also does not touch any maritime zone. So first of all, what is Horn of Africa? There is an acronym for that, SEED. We'll come to what this SEED refers to. So Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti and Somalia. These countries, they form what is referred to as the Horn of Africa due to its horn-like shape, and this acronym refers to these four countries. So basically Somalia, Eritrea, Ethiopia and Djibouti. Now if you look at the map, these are these four countries and this is this horn-like structure you can see here. These are the four countries. Eritrea, now it has an opening into Red Sea. Djibouti, very famously it has an opening into this Gulf of Aden. Somalia, it has been infamous due to various piracy concerns. And then Ethiopia. As we can see, Ethiopia shares no border with any of the water bodies located in the proximity of Horn of Africa. So our answer would be Ethiopia. Since we just referred to piracy concerns, there is a code of conduct, Djibouti Code of Conduct, which India recently joined in the capacity of an observer. It is related to maritime security, so that can also be remembered. So going on the basis of information which we just grasped from the next image, we can see that only Ethiopia is the country which shares no border with any maritime zone, hence answer is Ethiopia. Moving on further. Now, Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, it has been in making for long years, and so for long years it has also been in controversy with Sudan and Egypt. So river Nile, as it goes, so Sudan and Egypt, they are in the downstream path of river Nile, and on one of the tributaries of river Nile, that is Blue Nile, Ethiopia is constructing a Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. So this has been in news, first thing. Then recently South Sudan, which separated from Sudan, what remains as Sudan, it completed its 10 years of formation. There was a coup in Mali, there was a coup in Guinea, and Mount Nyiragongo saw a volcanic eruption. So where is Mount Nyiragongo? There were several volcanic eruptions this year, so there can be a match the following kind of question. So this volcanic peak is in Democratic Republic of Congo. Now let us have a look at the question that can be asked. So if a question is asked that which of the following countries are landlocked, the options we have is Chad, Niger, Mali, South Sudan and Democratic Republic of Congo. So let us have a look at the options here. So Mali, as we can see, it is landlocked. Then Niger, it is landlocked. Chad, it is landlocked. South Sudan, we obviously should remember. So we got the acronym SEED. Don't confuse Somalia with Sudan. So SEED, that is the Horn of Africa, as refers to Somalia. Sudan lies in the interior or in the mainland area of Africa. So South Sudan is also landlocked. Democratic Republic of Congo, it seems to be landlocked, but it has an opening into the Atlantic Ocean. So looking back at the question, we find that all of these countries, they are landlocked except for Democratic Republic of Congo. So our answer would be option C, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these countries are landlocked. Democratic Republic of Congo is not. Moving on further. Now there was a crisis on Lake Chad. Now few years back there was a question in UPSC asking that which of among the following bodies is shrinking very fast due to human action or thing like that. So Lake Chad is also in news because it is one of the largest freshwater lakes and has shrunk by 90%. So based on this information, let us look at the question. A clear question can be, which among the following water bodies is facing this kind of crisis? A more complex kind of question, that which of them among the following options represent the north to south order of major lakes of Africa? So we will revise the major lakes of Africa: Lake Victoria, Lake Malawi, Lake Chad and Lake Tanganyika. Lake Tanganyika. So let us look at the map. Lake Chad. Now, if you remember the geography of Africa, then also you can reach a conclusion very fast that Chad lies in the northernmost part of the Africa. So north to south, this option gets the highest probability in case you are not aware of the remaining locations of the water bodies. But still, let us look at the locations. So Lake Chad is located somewhere around here. So it becomes the northernmost. Then we have Lake Victoria, one of the largest freshwater lakes in the world, at least in Africa, second one in the world. So then we have Lake Tanganyika here and we have Lake Malawi here. So going by this information, we can see that Lake Chad comes the northernmost while Lake Malawi is the southernmost. On the basis of this information, we find that Lake Chad, Lake Victoria, Lake Tanganyika and Lake Malawi. So the answer is option C. Moving on further, recently the President of Tunisia dissolved the parliament, taking a unilateral decision. Tunisia had been in political turmoil since it became the bedrock basically from where the Arab Spring emerged. So the Prime Minister was also removed from the post. So based on this information, if there is a question that these are the geographical places which we know and which are their locations, match the following kind of question. So is Sahara Atlas in Tunisia, Muchinga Mountains, Northern Africa, Mount Tahat in Central Sahara, Tigray in West Africa and Nubian Desert in Northeast Africa? Now it may seem like a complex question, but for one, we know that Tigray has been in news. We just referred to, there's a war going on in Ethiopia, a civil war going on in the Tigray region of Ethiopia, and we know that Tunisia has been in news. So Tunisia, the Sahara Atlas Mountains, they are part of Tunisia. So this is a correct match, we know. Tigray we know lies in Ethiopia, right? And Ethiopia we know form part of SEAT, that is Horn of Africa. Horn of Africa we know lies in the eastern part of the Africa and not the west. So this is wrong. Now the question says which among the following are correctly matched. So based on this information, you can go for a elimination kind of thing and you may reach the right answer. But let us look at all of these places on the map. Atlas Mountains, we know they are located here. They form almost the border between the Europe and Africa. Now let us look at the Muchinga Mountains here. Muchinga Mountains, they are located in the southern part of the Africa and not the northern. So this is incorrectly matched as was given in the option. You can see here Muchinga Mountains, they are not located in northern Africa but in southern Africa. Then you know Mount Tahat, they are located in the Central African region. So this is correctly marked. And then we have Tigray region, and so we have Tigray region and the Nubian Desert. Nubian Desert we know is located in the eastern or the northeastern part of Africa, while Tigray region, we know Ethiopia hosts the Tigray region as of now. So it lies in the eastern part of Africa. So based on this information, we can see that Muchinga Mountains, they are not in North Africa, and Tigray region, it lies in the Eastern African region. So answer would be 1 is correct, 3 is correct, and 5 is correct. So the answer would be option A. A few other places which are important but were not asked in the question. So there is a Namib Desert in the southern part of the Africa. Don't confuse it with Nubian Desert, which is in the northeastern part of Africa. Then Katanga Plateau is another important feature from Africa, and most of the other ones we have covered. So moving on further, South Africa was in news because after the arrest of former President Jacob Zuma, mass protests emerged there. So let us look at a few rivers, a few of them belong to Africa, and their features. So Limpopo, Mahi and Congo. Mahi we know, the Indian river. Mahi and Congo have been given, and they ask if Limpopo crosses the Tropic of Capricorn twice. Mahi, does it cross the Tropic of Cancer twice? And Congo, does it cross the equator twice? So let us have a look. This is Limpopo river and this is Tropic of Capricorn. So Limpopo river crosses the Tropic of Capricorn twice. So remember this feature of Limpopo river. Next we have river Congo, one of the bigger rivers in the world. So it also crosses the equator twice. So remember the river Congo from African continent. Let us look at the river Mahi. River Mahi, this is Tropic of Cancer, right? So river Mahi also crosses the Tropic of Cancer twice. So based on this information, we can see that yes, Limpopo crosses Tropic of Capricorn twice, Mahi Tropic of Cancer twice, and Congo crosses the equator twice. So all of them are correctly matched, hence answer would be option D. Moving on further, coming to South Asia, Southeast Asia and the Indo-Pacific region. So let us have a look at the places from these locations. Now Taliban rule in Afghanistan made headlines. So let us look at the few important locations from this region. Match the following kind of question if there is. So Kandahar, is it located in Afghanistan? Yes, we know it is a very famous place in Afghanistan. Zahedan, is it located in Pakistan? Now Zahedan was in news because an important railway line was being constructed with Indian help from Chabahar, the famous Chabahar port, for every UPSC aspirant at least. So Zahedan to Chabahar railway line was being constructed. So it is not in Pakistan but in Iran. Quetta we know is in Pakistan. Fatima Bhutto somewhere recounts that while Jinnah was having a very bad health, he was stranded in Quetta in a broken ambulance. So anyhow, Quetta is in Pakistan. Dilaram, is it in Iran? No, Dilaram again is part of a famous hyphenated equation, Dilaram-Zaranj highway. So India constructed this highway in Afghanistan, so it will be Dilaram will be in Afghanistan. So 2 and 4 are incorrectly matched, while Kandahar and Quetta are correctly matched. So there can be this kind of question. You should know about Zahedan and Chabahar railway line, Dilaram and Zaranj highway. Let us look at these locations in map. So Quetta, we know, in Pakistan. Kandahar, a very famous location in Afghanistan. Now there is Dilaram, and there is this highway from Zaranj to Dilaram made by India. So that was in news. And then there is this Chabahar port. From Chabahar to Zahedan, there was this railway line in Iran. So Zahedan is in Iran. Moving on further. Now India and Nepal signed a memorandum of understanding for infrastructure development in Pashupatinath temple. So first, this location is important, that where this temple is located. But what made more news was that Nepal raised Kalapani border dispute again. So let us assume a question on this issue, that there has often been a dispute between India and Nepal regarding the Kalapani area. A major river has its origin near this region. This river determines the boundary between the two countries. What is the name of the river? Is it Koryala, or Kali, or Sharda, or Ghagra, or Gandak? So let us have look at the Kalapani area. So this is the Kalapani area. Nepal shows it on its side of the border. Indian maps have been showing it in Indian territory since long, and from this region rises river Kali, or what is also called Sharda, and it almost forms the border between India and Nepal, and this eventually enters India and joins Ghagra. So you can look at the bigger map here. It forms almost the border between India and Nepal for much long, and eventually it joins Ghagra, which eventually joins Ganga. So on the basis of this information, we can clearly see that the answer would be option B. Kali or Sharda rises from Kalapani area. Moving on further, more news items were that India started the reconstruction of a 3-year-old Sri Sri Joy Kali Matar Mandir or temple in Bangladesh. So first, the location can be important: Pashupatinath temple, Nepal; Joy Kali Matar Mandir or temple in Bangladesh. So a match of the following kind of question may be there. Now, other important news was the economic emergency was imposed in Sri Lanka. British stamp operations will stop on Chagos archipelago. Archipelago, basically a group of islands. Chagos archipelago, we refer to it as. So these are the group of islands. So British stamp operations are going to stop on it. ICJ few years back suggested or asked United Kingdom to give back Chagos archipelago to Mauritius. So it has been in news since then, almost for 2-3 years, and it is a very important that where it is located, and what is the dispute about between what two countries, the UK and Mauritius. And then there was an agreement between government of Maldives and Indian company for work on Greater Malay Connectivity Project. What is important is the name of the islands, that is Willingly, Gulifalu and Thilafushi. So these are to be connected to the capital of Maldives, that is Malé. Now let us look at the question, that which of the following options represent the order from north to south of major islands located in the Indian Ocean. So let us look at the islands. Agati, we know, Agarati and Kavaratti both are the islands of Lakshadweep, right? Malé, we know, is the capital of Maldives, and Chagos, we know, it's a archipelago or group of islands located in the Indian Ocean. Mauritius claims ownership over these islands. ICJ has asked UK to give over these islands to Mauritius. Let us look at the location of these islands. So Agati here, Lakshadweep, then Kavaratti in Lakshadweep. So these are the two islands for which you may be confused, that which lies in the north or which lies in the south. So this you have to remember. 𝐸𝐏𝐻𝐒 lies in the north to Kavaratti Islands, and then we have Malé, and then we have Chagos Archipelago here, further south to Maldives. So on the basis of this information, we can see that this is the correct order, and hence option A would be the right answer. Moving on further, Myanmar was in news because first there was a coup in Myanmar, and then the infamous army rule, junta rule, has been going on there. And then Ho Chi Minh City, it has been in news. History students know it for the US-Vietnam War, so named after the famous leader of that war, Ho Chi Minh City. Now then, Tokara Islands were in news. They are quite mysterious kinds of island because they have a unique culture of their own, and Japanese view it with a kind of aura and mysteriosity. So these mysterious volcanic islands in Japan. So recently a series of earthquakes occurred there, and then there was recently the talk of activity near Amami Oshima Islands in Japan. So just have a glance at this name, Amami Oshima Islands. They are located in Japan. Now there were transgression by some Chinese ships near Senkaku Islands. Very important, since so many years Senkaku Islands is reason of dispute between China, very obviously, and Japan and Taiwan. So these three countries, they claim ownership over Senkaku Islands. So there can be a question that match the following kind of question, that these islands and the countries among which there is a dispute for ownership of these islands. Now South China Sea has also been in news due to wrong reasons for so many years. So let us look at a few islands or places that have disputes, and what are those countries among which there is a dispute on for those islands. So Paracel Islands has been in news for so many years. So it is disputed between China. So one thing, in South China Sea, one obvious country would be China, which is having dispute with other neighboring countries over these islands. So for Paracel Islands, China has dispute with Taiwan as well as Vietnam. For Spratly Islands, China has dispute with Taiwan, Vietnam, Brunei and Philippines. And for Scarborough Islands, China has dispute with Taiwan and Philippines. So these four islands, Senkaku, Paracel, Spratly and Scarborough, they have been in news for so many years, and any day a question is expected out of them. Now let us have a look at a potential question. So areas are given and their locations are there. So Arakan Yoma, Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City, Kra Canal and Henan province of China. So where are they located? Let us look at the map. Arakan Yoma is in Myanmar. Then we have Henan province in South China Sea, not in East China Sea. Then we have Ho Chi Minh City here in Vietnam, and Kra Canal connecting Andaman Sea with Gulf of Thailand. So on the basis of this information, we can see that Arakan Yoma, yes, it lies in Western Myanmar. Ho Chi Minh City is not in Cambodia, it is in Vietnam. Kra Canal, Indo-Malaya Peninsula, space is called Indo-Malaya Peninsula, and Henan province again is not in East China Sea, it is in South China Sea. So on the basis of this information, we can see that these options are incorrectly marked, and hence option B is the right answer. Moving on further, we had discussed in the art and culture episode that world's oldest cave paintings were discovered at the Sulawesi Island. So let us have a look at the question that may be asked from map perspective based on this information, that which of the following islands of Indonesia is located entirely in the southern hemisphere. So Sulawesi Island is an island of Indonesia. So let us look at the options: Java, Sulawesi, Sumatra and Borneo. So let us have a look at the location of these islands on the map, and see which of them lie entirely in the southern hemisphere. So we have approximate equator passing through here. So we can see this is Sumatra. This here is Java. So Sumatra is transgressing both into northern hemisphere as well as in southern hemisphere. Java, on the other hand, lies entirely in southern hemisphere. Bali also lies entirely in southern hemisphere. This is the island of Sulawesi, north and southern Sulawesi. So again, it transgresses across the border, if we can call it border, across the line basically, both into north and south. And this is the island of Borneo. So this also goes across the line. So from among these options, we can see that only Java lies entirely in southern hemisphere. Had Bali been here, it also lies entirely in southern hemisphere. So here the answer would be Java. Moving on further. Now UNESCO recently declared the Mura-Drava-Danube region as the world's first 5-country biosphere reserve. It is located or spread across 5 countries, and it is also called the Amazon of the Europe. So first, which are those 5 countries? These are Austria, Slovenia, Croatia, Hungary and Serbia. We will have a look at the map. So remember this region, Mura-Drava-Danube region. This has been declared as 5-country biosphere reserve. The other thing that was in news was Hungary was in news due to another political movement on the lines of Brexit, that is Huxit, that Hungary wanted, or a section of people in Hungary wanted to escape the European Union. However, the government refused to accept this suggestion. Now let us have a look at the question. And such kinds of question, which have a large body in their question itself, they often evoke fear among the aspirants. But let us look at the question and see or find, do they really should invoke fear. So Europe's second longest river, which starts from Black Forest of Germany, thereafter it follows a south and southeast direction for a long distance, although it follows some northeast direction before joining the Black Sea. The basin area of this river is in 10 countries of Europe. Apart from this, it also passes through, question should have 5 major capitals. What is the name of this river? So grasp the important information. It is the second longest river, Europe's second longest river. It starts from the Black Forest region and joins the Black Sea, passes through 10 countries. So if you have this information, let us have a look at the options: Volga, Dnieper, Ural and Danube. So either if you know that Volga, and it was asked in a previous year question as well, Volga joins Caspian Sea, right? So it can't be the answer. Now Ural, it also joins the Caspian Sea. Moreover, if you don't remember which water body they join, Volga and Ural, for most of the part, they flow in Russia, and in no scenario they can cross 10 countries. So again, basically on the basis of this information, all three options get stuck out, but 2 for sure. So anyhow, let us have a look at the map to get the more exact information. So this is Danube River. It rises from region in Black Forest region, and from that region in Germany, it goes all the way to Black Sea, traversing 10 countries and 5 capitals of those 10 countries, and eventually just after passing through Ukraine, it joins Black Sea. So these are the countries from where it passes. If you can see clearly, it starts from Germany, then it enters Austria, then it enters Slovakia, then it enters Hungary, then it goes to Slovakia and Slovenia, then it goes to Croatia, then it enters Serbia, then it enters Romania, then it enters Moldova, and just after entering Ukraine, it enters Black Sea. So this is how this river proceeds. So on the basis of this information, the answer here is river Danube. Moving on further, let us have a look at the other important water bodies. So there was Dnieper given in the options. Dnieper is the 4th longest river. It also joins Black Sea, 4th longest river of Europe. Most famous one, Volga, rises from Russia, joins Caspian Sea. It is the longest river of Europe. Then we have Danube, the 2nd longest river, rises from Black Forest River in Germany, passing through 10 countries, the 10th country Ukraine joining Black Sea. Then we have river Rhine and river Elbe. They join the North Sea. So remember, river Rhine and river Elbe join North Sea. Then we have a river Po, which joins Adriatic Sea. There are many rivers here. We are just listing the important names and the water bodies which they join. So then we have river Danube, river Dniester, river Dnieper, and river Don. So we discussed these rivers, and then finally Volga and Ural, they join the Caspian Sea. So this is the list of important rivers and the water bodies they join. Moving on further, Liverpool was removed from UNESCO's heritage status. We also discussed it in the art and culture episode. It's a city in United Kingdom, in Britain. Now, another thing that was in news was a 516-meter long pedestrian bridge has been built in the 𝐾𝐤 Geopark in northern Portugal. Now, it is claimed that, so since it is 516-meter long, it is called 516 𝐾𝐤, and it is claimed that it is the longest pedestrian bridge in the world. Other thing that was in news was that the world's first carbon neutral cement plant will be set on the island of Gotland in Sweden. So where the island of Gotland is located, it is located in Sweden. And if you are going through the news recently, there has been a crisis of gas and fuel in the Europe. So in context of that, Nord Stream 1 gas pipeline. So US had sanctioned those pipelines. Still Europe decided to go ahead with these pipelines coming from all the way from Russia. So Nord Stream 1 gas pipeline, it came from Rheinberg in Russia to Greifswald in Germany. So this was the one, the first Nord Stream gas pipeline. The second one, the Nord Stream 2, is from Ust-Luga in Russia. So you have to remember the places which are, so they are sounding Russian too, but you may get confused between Russian and German names in the exam hall. Ust-Luga in Russia to again Greifswald in Germany. And then Crimea crisis was in news. Crimea crisis, basically Crimea was a place or a territory claimed by territory of Ukraine, and recently Russia occupied it, or this is the version of Ukraine that Russia occupied it. Russia says that it joined us. So let's have a look at the question. Ust-Luga, is it a place in Ukraine? 516 𝐾𝐤, is it a place in Spain? And Liverpool, is it a place in Netherlands? So no, Ust-Luga, we just discussed, is the place from where one of the Nordic gas pipelines, they are coming to Europe. So it's in, it's in Russia. So this one is incorrectly marked. 516 𝐾𝐤, it is the longest pedestrian bridge in Portugal. So this is also incorrectly marked. And Liverpool, it is as soccer enthusiasts would know, it is a place in Britain. So all of these are incorrectly marked. So the answer would be, none of them are correctly matched. Let's move further. So this is the gas pipeline, basically Nordic Stream 2, coming from Russia to Europe, and then the longest pedestrian bridge has been inaugurated. You can have a look at the location of Portugal. this is Iberian Peninsula, and Spain and Portugal, they both lie here. This bridge was inaugurated in Portugal. Moving on further, let's have a look at a new question. So again, geographical regions and their locations have been given. Iberian Peninsula, is it in Western Europe? Pyrenees mountain range, is it on France-Spain border? Jura mountain range, France-Switzerland border, and Apennines, is it in Greece? So let us have a look at the map. Now, this is the Iberian Peninsula. We also discussed just moments ago that this Iberian Peninsula, which was also a famous territory if you have gone through the history of Crusades. So Iberian Peninsula lies in the western part of the Europe. As we know, this is Western Europe, this is Eastern Europe. The more developed part, the Western Europe. So Iberian Peninsula is part of Western Europe. Then we have Jura Mountains. They are located on Switzerland, France border, and Apennines, they are on Italy. So this is basically Italy, which had the seat of Pope during ancient times, and now Vatican has been separated as a seat of Pope. So basically Apennines, they are in Italy. So let us have a look at the map. So Iberian Peninsula, Western Europe, right? Pyrenees mountain range, border of France and Spain. Jura mountain range, France, Switzerland. Apennine mountain range, Greece. So this is incorrectly marked. It is located not in Greece but Italy. So this is the idea here. Moving on further. Now coming to the location of North and South America and the places which have been used from these locations. So first thing, the large scale oil spill happened in Gulf of Mexico after Hurricane Ida. So remember Hurricane Ida, where it came in Gulf of Mexico. There can be several hurricanes and similar natural disasters happened this year. So there can be a match the following kind of question with the locations of these disasters or where these disasters struck. Now El Salvador was in news due to two reasons were there. First, the country became the first country in the world to grant legal tender status to Bitcoin. Legal tender status, again a technical term, so status given by the central bank or the government of the country to a currency. So that is why it was in news, and then it also became the first country in Central America. So this is where El Salvador is located. We will also look at it in the map, and it became the first country in Central America to be declared malaria free by WHO this year. World Health Organization declared it malaria free. Now let us have a look at the question. Which of the following countries share borders with both the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean? Mexico, Honduras, El Salvador, Colombia. Let us have a look at the map and decide for ourselves. Mexico. So Mexico shares a border both with the Pacific Ocean as well as the Atlantic Ocean. Honduras, it seems it shares border only with the Atlantic Ocean, but it shares its border both with the Atlantic as well as the Pacific Ocean. Colombia, so Colombia, it again shares its border here as well as here, both with the Atlantic as well as the Pacific Ocean. Only the El Salvador has a single opening, and that is into the Pacific Ocean. So on the basis of this information, we find that Mexico, Honduras and Colombia, all of them share border with both Pacific and Atlantic. El Salvador only has an opening with the Pacific Ocean. So the answer would be option C. Now Belize is also a country in Central America which is adjacent only to one ocean. It in turn is adjacent only to Atlantic Ocean. So you can remember the name of the country, that is Belize. Now moving on further, French Guiana, these islands were in news. They lie in the Southern American region but actually are held by France. So the world's first commercial fully reprogrammable satellite was launched here. So remember this satellite's name, it's Eutelsat Quantum. European Space Agency along with a few other private bodies launched this satellite, and it is fully reprogrammable. Depending upon the need, you can reprogram it from the Earth itself. So that is why French Guiana were in news. And then lithium triangle, it has been in use since so many years. Remember the acronym ABC. So A stands for Argentina, B stands for Bolivia, C for Chile. They together form the lithium triangle. Lithium, which is a very important constituent of, let's say, the lithium ion batteries we use, the power banks we use, and so on and so forth. So they have been in use for so many years. Let us have a look at the question. Geographical region and locations are given: Gran Chaco, Selva Maya, Patagonia Plateau, and lithium triangle. So let's say lithium triangle was in news. So where are they located? Gran Chaco, is it located in Central America? Selva Maya, is it again in Central America? Patagonia Plateau in Middle Southern America, and lithium triangle in North South America. So let us have a look at this map. This is the Selva Maya region, Selva Maya forests region. So it is located here. Then we have Gran Chaco forests located. So this is located in the Central American region. This is located, Gran Chaco is located in the South America. Patagonia Plateau, famous Patagonia Plateau. The Chilean Patagonia is actually called the end of the world. So Patagonia Plateau is located in the deep south of the Southern American region. So, and this is the famous lithium triangle having Argentina, Chile, and Bolivia, A, B, C. So on the basis of this information, on the basis of this information, we are going to look at the places. Gran Chaco, is it located in Central America? No, it is located in South America. Selva Maya, is it located in Central America? We just saw it is located in Central America. Patagonia Plateau, it is located in the middle southern part of South America. And lithium triangle, the ABC countries, they are also located in southern part of South America. So basically only 2 and 3 are correctly marked, and hence answer would be option C. So have a look again. Selva Maya forest in the Central America, Gran Chaco in the South American region, Patagonia again in the South American region, and this is the lithium triangle. Moving on further, world's largest iceberg recently broke away from Antarctica. That was called A76. So A76, which was recently in news, refers to ABCD. So it is basically the world's largest iceberg which recently broke away. It was 4,320 square kilometers mammoth iceberg. So let us have a look at the question, a very easy question if you see it that way, that which among the following continents has the highest mean elevation in the world. Mean elevation is the same thing if you have ever gone to a platform. So whenever the location XYZ is mentioned on a platform, there is written that what is the mean sea level of that location. So the average highest mean sea elevation obviously is in Antarctica. So Antarctica would be the answer, and this is that iceberg of Antarctica that entirely broke away, and that is why Antarctica was in news. So with this news, we come to the end and to the conclusion of this series. Prelims is just a few days away. We wish you all the best.